Welcome back, hockey fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey and sometimes hockey at large all year long. And the stage is set. The Oilers have done the unthinkable and fought back from down 3-0 in the Stanley Cup Final to force a Game 7. The Stanley Cup will be presented tonight. In case you were wondering, the Oilers are not the first team to force a Game 7 in NHL playoff history after being down 3-0. It's actually happened 9 other times in NHL history, and this is the 10th time it has happened in 211 chances, and the first time in 10 years. Only 4 of the previous 9 teams have gone on to complete the deed and win the Game 7. Of those previous 9 instances, only 2 were in the Cup Finals. The 1945 Red Wings versus the Maple Leafs, and they lost the Game 7. And the 1942 Maple Leafs versus the Red Wings, they got it done, won the Game 7, and they're the only team in pro sports history to win a Game 7 after being down 3-0, and that is absolutely phenomenal. We have a chance to see it for only the second time in professional sports history. A little friendly reminder, in my bracket for the playoffs, I had these very 2 teams, the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers, facing off for the Stanley Cup, and I had the Oilers winning it. And that pick was not looking too good after 3 games. I thought it was a sweep, and I said, oh, I got the finals right. I could take some solace in that. However, we're here now, and I am just as stunned as anybody, although the Oilers had moments in those games, and it just seemed like Bobrovsky was going to steal games even if the Panthers weren't playing at their best, and Edmonton was definitely getting the best of them in some of the games. It didn't matter. They were in a 3-0 hole, and here we are. And here we are. Heading into the playoffs, these are the 2 teams I was kind of rooting for to get to the finals, but I also thought they were the teams that would make it. I thought they were solid teams all year, and I thought they had those characteristics to go on a deep run, and that's the reason why I picked them. And I was also rooting for them, so it was kind of a dual purpose. 2 of my favorite non-Devils players in the league are on these teams, Connor McDavid and Matthew Tkachuk. And Connor McDavid, what is there to say, guys? This guy is an absolute freak of nature, a specimen from another planet, otherworldly. The Connor McDavid Show is must-see TV. This man does video game shit in real life, and it's amazing to watch. I watched him on the nationally televised games a lot throughout the year to watch McDavid. When the Oilers come to New Jersey, I try to make it a point to get to the game to see him live because this is a truly special player. He's a truly special talent, and we're lucky to be alive during the Connor McDavid era. I mean, I really do believe he's the greatest player of all time. The stuff that he does, the skill, the vision, the stick handling, the speed, sometimes it seems like he's anticipating things before they happen, and he just does it all, and it's absolutely phenomenal to see his acceleration weaving through traffic. McDavid's like nothing else. And then Matthew Tkachuk. I wanted him a couple years ago when the rumors that he was leaving Calgary were coming out. I wanted the Devils to get him desperately. This guy's a complete throwback. Hits, fights, scores goals, just a complete energy, just beast of a man. I loved his old man, Keith Tkachuk, back in the day in the 90s. And I always loved Matthew Tkachuk. And it sucked that the Devils couldn't get him. And you see what he's done since he's gotten to Florida. He's almost single-handedly reversed the fortunes of that franchise. In his first year, they make it to the finals last year before ultimately falling to the Vegas Golden Knights. And then what do they do this year? They make it right back to the finals. And it looked for a while like they were going to cakewalk their way to a cup, but now they're in a battle. An absolute battle. Matthew Tkachuk, Connor McDavid, head-to-head, 1 game to settle it all. Another part of aside from being a McDavid guy, another big reason I was rooting for the Oilers to win is because of Adam Henrique, former New Jersey Devils legend, serviceable Devil, great soldier, scored one of the biggest goals in Devils franchise history in Game 6 of the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals in overtime, knocking out the Rangers. Beautiful, beautiful sequence. We'll never forget the man for it. And because of Adam Henrique going to the Oilers at the deadline, they were my rooting team for the playoffs because I wanted him to win a cup and I would love to see him hoist it. But history will be made either way. Either the Panthers will win their first cup in franchise history in their third attempt. Made it there in 96 with the Beezer, John Van Beesbrook in net before losing to the 96 Avalanche and Patrick Waugh and that stacked Avalanche team. And then the Panthers made it last year and lost to the Vegas Golden Knights. So here we are. Back-to-back appearances for the Panthers. Their third appearance in franchise history, looking to capture their first cup. So either we see the Panthers win their first cup or the Oilers become only the second team in pro sports history to win a championship after being down 3-0. It'd be McDavid's first championship, and you'll see these clips, and it'll be in commercials and things for eternity, and it's a big deal. Either way, history will be made, and it is super exciting to watch for hockey fans worldwide, and I am jacked up for it. And this was a little graphic I came across that I thought was very interesting, and it's like, you know what? He might be onto something here. Jesse Pollock, is Monday night's Game 7 the biggest game in NHL history? Not exaggerating, the best player in the world going for his first Stanley Cup, leading a Canadian team back after being down 0-3. I can't remember there ever being a bigger game. Could not have asked for a better way to end the season. Cannot wait for this game. And I echo those sentiments. This possibly is, it's definitely one of the biggest games in NHL history, but it possibly could be the biggest. Connor McDavid is a household name at this point, and Canada's been going through a cup drought for a long time now. It very well could be the biggest game in NHL history. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. Is this the biggest game in NHL history? Are we going to witness the biggest game in NHL history tonight? It's definitely up there, and it very well could be the biggest. Tonight will be the 18th Game 7 in Stanley Cup Finals history. The home team is 12-5 in the previous 17 Stanley Cup Finals Game 7s, and I have my own fair share of experiences with these Stanley Cup Final Game 7s being a Devils fan. I watched my boys lose a devastating Game 7 in the 2001 Finals. The Devils were up 3-2 in that series. Game 6 was in New Jersey. I was in the building in attendance for a chance to witness my boys skate the cup on their home ice. Unfortunately, the Devils could not get it done. They fell in Game 6, and then they went on the road to Colorado in Game 7 and lost there too. Blew the series. Ray Bourque, Mission 16W, all summer long. I'll hate Ray Bourque for eternity because of it, and what a painful loss as a Devils fan in 2001 after leading 3-2 to blow the next two games, one of them at home and one on the road in Game 7. But there was redemption for my boys. There was redemption in another Game 7 in 2003 against the Mighty Ducks. My boys were home. They got it done. I was in the building. I was fortunate enough to be there to witness my team skate the Stanley Cup, and probably one of the greatest nights of my life for sure, and definitely the greatest sporting event I've ever attended live. I've attended, hundreds across all different sports and different things, but witnessing your team win the Stanley Cup in a Game 7, what an electric atmosphere at Continental Airlines Arena that night. I will never forget it. And what a night. Game 7 Stanley Cup Finals are just a different animal, something truly special. And with the home team having such a dominant record, 12-5 in Cup Final Game 7s, you would think the home team would be favored. We look, Vegas odds. This is courtesy of FanDuel, and this was late at night. This was at around midnight or 1 a.m. I guess technically early this morning. The Oilers were -105 and the Panthers -114. A very, very, very teensy-weensy slight favorite at home. And I think the odds kind of reflect a lot of people's feelings. This one definitely feels different. A team being up 3-0 and then losing 3 in a row, it's almost a coin flip, and the odds reflect that. -105 for the Oilers, -114 for the Panthers. I might sprinkle a little wager on this. I'm not sure. I've somewhat retired from sports betting years ago. That's a whole different story for another day, but this one is juicy. I don't know. But it definitely feels different, and those odds are very interesting. For a Game 7, most of the time in all of sports, no matter what round, a home team in Game 7 is usually a way bigger favorite than this. This is essentially a coin flip. Completely wild. And I think a lot of people are kind of thinking along the lines with me that I just can't see McDavid and the Oilers not finishing the job. To come down from 0-3 and claw all the way back, I think they make history tonight. I really do. I haven't been this pumped for a non-Devils hockey game since the 2010 Olympics gold medal game, USA versus Canada, an amazing finish. Then New Jersey Devils Zach Parise scores with 25 seconds left to tie the game at 2 and send it to overtime before Sidney Crosby goes on to win it for Canada, shattering the hearts of Americans everywhere. And that one still stings. That one still stings. But there are so many questions heading into the Stanley Cup Final Game 7. What Sergei Bobrovsky are we going to see? Are we going to see the guy that was a brick wall in games 1, 2, and 3? Or are we going to see the shaky, kind of vulnerable guy we saw in games 4, 5, 6? I think Bobrovsky could be the X factor here in terms of getting the Panthers the W or getting the loss. I think he's going to feel the pressure, and I think that whole building is really going to be feeling it. Obviously, whoever scores first is going to be huge. If the Oilers take a lead early or score first in general, I think that crowd's going to get real tense and real quiet. They're already feeling some kind of nauseousness because that they're there. I mean, to be at a Game 7 after you're up 3-0, it's really, really not a situation you want to be in. Who is going to step up on the brightest stage and make a big play? Sometimes heroes are unexpected third-line guys, maybe a defenseman. Is someone going to come out of nowhere and change the course of this game and ultimately their franchise's history? Most importantly, did the Edmonton Oilers fly in their good luck charm, kaittheflasher? For those of you that live in a bubble or, under a rock, as the old people would say, kaittheflasher is an Oilers fan who showed her paid-for with cash breastises at an earlier Oilers game, went viral, has become kind of a news sensation, been making the rounds on different shows and things, and she's kind of a good luck charm in a way. Kind of a good luck charm, and after all the attention she got, she apparently got a deal with Playboy. Would you look at that? Flashing at the Oilers game to on the pages, or the internet pages at least, of Playboy. And I've only seen the photos. I don't know if there's any more photos, guys, for you pervs out there. I don't know if there's more photos, but these are just like the press photos they put out that are safe for work. But good for Kate. Good for kaittheflasher. Maybe all of her dreams are coming true. Gracing Playboy might see her hometown Oilers win a Stanley Cup. What a week it could be for Kate, honestly. Good for Kate. And in a bizarre coincidence, here we have from Spectre, as pointed out by Chris Knobloch, on June 24th, 2024, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, a.k.a. The Nuge, will play his first possible Stanley Cup clinching game for Edmonton, the team that drafted him on June 24th, 2011. So 13 years to the day from when he was drafted, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will be wearing the Oilers jersey, looking for a cup for the team that drafted him 13 years exactly ago. And that's just one of those weird little bizarre, plot lines. What are the odds of that? 13 years later, looking for his first cup. And it's a shame that some of those other Oilers guys from those early years didn't get to stick around for this. Taylor Hall was there early, didn't make it, to the finish line here. Jordan Eberle was another one that was kind of one of their young core guys. Yeah, I mean, wow. The Oilers have had some highly ranked guys over the years. High draft picks. But the Nuge remains. And I'd expect, let me know what you Oilers fans think about this. If the Oilers win the cup, does McDavid hand the cup to Nuge first? I mean, I have to really analyze their roster and really look at that. But I think he'd be a good candidate. From once Connor hoists that bad boy, I think the Nuge might be the first recipient on the pass-off. Let me know what you guys think about that. And then as for another kind of side plot storyline, who is going to win the Conn Smythe Trophy as the playoff MVP? And Las Vegas apparently thinks it's already decided. We just take a look at the odds here. Connor McDavid is an overwhelming minus 3,500 favorite. And for those of you that are not well-versed in betting, that means you need to risk 3,500 American dollars to win 100 American dollars. That is a monster favorite. Don't know we'll ever see something like this again. Yeah, I mean, heading into a Game 7, they have him basically a lock to win it, even if they lose, which I guess, kind of makes sense. But you look at the other names here, it's a one-horse race, McDavid or bust. They have Barkov at plus 1,200, so you bet $100 to win 1,200. And then they just have these crazy ones up here looking to collect people's money who are living on a prayer. Bobrovsky plus 10,000, bet $100 to win 10,000. Matthew Tkachuk plus 16,000. Stuart Skinner plus 28,000. Evan Rodriguez plus 50,000. Verhaeghe plus 50,000. Bouchard plus 50,000 and Draisaitl plus 50,000. I mean, wow. Wow. I mean, I don't even know if Draisaitl could win if he had a hat trick. I mean, if he had a hat trick and they won 3-0, would that even get him the Conn Smythe plus 50,000? I mean, I don't know. I might throw a couple bucks on that just because it's just so insane. If he has a monster game, you never know. But they have McDavid winning it for a very good reason. We take a look. This is NHL history, single playoffs all time, and right now Connor McDavid is in 4th place with 42 points. Only Wayne Gretzky in 87-88 with 43 points. Mario Lemieux in 90-91 with 44 points, and Gretzky again in 84-85 with 47 points. The only 3 single playoff runs with more points than McDavid's 42. And I definitely think he could have a 2 or 3 point night tomorrow night. It's not out of the question, and so he could hypothetically climb up into that number 2 spot, or at least tie for number 2. 3 points would break the tie with Lemieux and put him firmly in second. I don't see him getting 5 points to tie Gretzky. So realistically, though, a 2-point night would tie him for number 2 all time, and a 3-point night would give him the number 2 spot all on his own. Definitely possible, but this is a historic run we're looking at. I mean, you see all these years here. The most recent one is the Gretzky 40-point season, or 40-point playoff, rather, in 92-93. It's been 31 years. Wild. Connor McDavid is just that dude, man. Oilers fans, consider yourselves blessed, especially some of the older. Shout out to the old school Oilers fans. Some of you commented on my last video. For you guys to have been fans during the Gretzky-Messier dynasty years, and now you have Connor McDavid, years later, you guys have truly been spoiled. And I'm jealous. I mean, listen, I can't complain. I saw my Devils win 3 cups in 9 years, and, Martin Brodeur, Scott Niedermayer, Scotty Stevens, 3 all-time NHL greats made up that core, and I'm blessed. If I never see another cup again, I mean, I'll remember that till the day I die. I'm hoping to see at least one more in my lifetime, but if I don't, I saw my team reach the mountaintop. And then I was just thinking, because I'm into all this sort of stuff, like what do things cost and the pricing and all that. So I just said, let me look it up. And this was as of 3 a.m. Eastern time. What is it going to cost to get into this game tonight? And this was at 3 a.m. You look here. This was for a pair of tickets at the time. This is obviously going to fluctuate maybe up or down throughout the day, depending. But as of 3 a.m. Eastern time, the cheapest pair of tickets I could find on the internet was on Ticketmaster, and it was $2,081.71 for 2 tickets. So essentially it was, $1,041 per ticket. And then I just wanted to check for a single as well. So if someone was looking to go by themselves, for 1 ticket, the cheapest 1 ticket I could find was $1,286.12. And I was thinking about that. Florida may be one of the cheapest markets in terms of ticket pricing, probably in the league. Because I think for many hockey markets, for a Game 7 Stanley Cup Final, these tickets would easily be 2 or 3 times the price, meaning, roughly $2,000 or $3,000 to get in the building. If this game was in Edmonton, my God. I mean, Oilers fans, let me know what you think about this. I'm curious, but if this Game 7 was hypothetically in Edmonton, I'm thinking that would be a $3,500 to $4,000 ticket. Edmonton's hockey crazed. Shout out to all the Oilers fans. Your atmosphere looks electric, both inside your arena and out. The national anthem singer singing the first couple lines and letting the crowd sing is truly, truly goosebumps-inducing stuff. I watch it every time. One of the cooler things I've seen before a game in a while. So shout out to all you Oilers fans. You guys are certainly a passionate group. But I'm curious. Let me know. What do you guys think? If there was a Game 7 Stanley Cup Finals in Edmonton, what do you think the cheapest ticket to get in the building would be? I'd be very curious to know about that. But, yeah, obviously, ticket prices for these events have gotten out of control. Coincidentally, I have here, this is a ticket from Game 4 of the 1995 Stanley Cup Finals, which was coincidentally 29 years ago to the day. I don't know if you could see that or how good my camera is going to pick that up there. But this was a Devils Cup clinching game. They were up 3-0 in the 1995 Cup Finals against the Red Wings. And they completed the sweep in this game. And this is an upper-level ticket that has a face value of $55. $55 to see the Devils win their first cup. It was a cup clincher, Game 4. They completed the sweep. Obviously, not quite the same as a Game 7, where you're obviously guaranteed to see the cup. But 29 years ago today, my Devils won their first cup, and you could have got an upper-level ticket for $55 face value. Inflation is an absolute bitch. And now circling back onto a Game 7, the only Game 7 Cup Finals I've ever been to, is this one here. This is from the 2003 season when my boys went up against the Mighty Ducks. But this is a lower-level ticket to Game 7. It was round 4, home Game 4. We had home ice, obviously. And this is $150 for a lower-level ticket. $150 for a lower-level ticket for a Game 7. And those are the good old days, guys. Those are the good old days because you are not sniffing a Game 7 ticket, probably even in the first round in a lot of markets, or pretty much any market, actually, for that kind of price. Maybe in Florida. I didn't see what they were first round, but the good old days are long behind us. Everything costs an absolute fortune now, and it's unfortunate, but you have the money. Spend that shit because you can't take it with you. Game 7 hockey is forever. And I'm truly jealous of both of these teams' fans. What a monumental night in franchise history for both of these teams. And it's obviously going to be really devastating for whatever team loses. I mean, if you're a Panthers fan and your team was up 3-0 in the Cup Finals and you go on to blow the series, I mean, that's unfathomable. And I can't imagine, the psychological damage that's going to do to the team and their fans. And on the flip side, if you're the Oilers, how devastating would it be to come back from down 3-0, claw all the way back to tie it up, and then ultimately lose a Game 7? That would be almost as devastating. I'm not actually sure which one would be worse. Let me know in the comments for you guys that might not be a fan of either one. What is more devastating? If you blow a 3-0 lead and get reverse swept for the cup, or is it more devastating to be down 3-0, win 3 in a row to force the Game 7, and then lose? That's a good question. Which one is worse? But we have high drama. I cannot wait for the game. I hope the Oilers do it for my boy Adam Henrique, Devils franchise legend, and I hope he gets one. I hope he gets his cup tonight. Wasn't looking good after the first 3 games, but they're back in the series, and I'd like to see McDavid win. I think he's a great ambassador for the sport of hockey. As I mentioned, earlier in the video, I think he's the greatest player of all time. I mean, people just are not doing what this guy could do. They just simply were not. He is just on another planet. But let me know in the comments who you guys think is going to win the game. Do you think there's any chance anyone other than McDavid wins the Conn Smythe? Who do you guys expect to step up and maybe be a unexpected hero? Do you think we're going to see kaittheflasher? Is kaittheflasher and her silicone set going to be in attendance in Miami, or is she going to be watching on TV somewhere? Where's Kate? Where is Kate? And let me know. If any of you guys are going, throw that out there in the comments as well. I'm curious to know if any of you are going to be there live in the flesh. If I was a Panthers fan, I certainly would not be missing this one. And I promised myself as a young man, I think sometime in college, actually, or maybe it was right before college, actually, right after the Devils won that Game 7 in 2003 against the Ducks, I told myself for the rest of my life, assuming I'm in good health, Lord willing, I will travel if necessary, no matter where it is. I will never not be in attendance for a potential New Jersey Devils cup clinching game. And that is something I plan on sticking to for eternity. If my New Jersey Devils have a chance to win the cup, no matter where the game is, I will travel my ass out there in hopes of seeing them capture it all again, because it truly is special. I will never forget the night that the Devils won in 2003. I have tons of stories regarding it. I'm not going to go on and on with it, but witnessing your team win the cup live is like nothing else. And good luck to Panthers fans hoping to see it. If you're an Oilers fan that made the trek, let me know. Definitely let me know. Any Oilers fans making the trip, I'd imagine the tickets, $1,000 is not crazy. I'd imagine there's going to be tons of Oilers fans making the trip. I'm curious to see if it kind of registers on TV, if there's pockets of them, or if you see them spread out. But I fully expect to see Oilers fans. Hardcore. The hardcore Oil fans should be traveling to Miami, and I'm curious to see that in the crowd as well. But anything about this game, all the stuff we talked about, if you're a Devils fan, any Devils stuff, Devils Cup memories, Throw it all out there in the comments. I will talk to you all soon, but I am super jacked for this game. It's now a little after 4 a.m. wrapping up the recording of this video, and I'm pumped for tonight. Pumped for tonight. Talk to you all soon. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's win that cup for Adam Henrique.